What's up, everybody? It's Ro from Green Life Stocks, and I am back, you guys. Yes, I'm back, and I am going to be sharing with you guys 10 of the worst trading mistakes that I made in the market. And I want to share these with you because I do not want you guys making the same mistakes that I made. I'm going to start with 10 and I'm going to count down. The 10th mistake that I made was what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. Yes, I was jumping in and out of trades based on what people were saying and what other people were doing, and trying to use their trading styles to accomplish whatever it was to try to get into that stock as quick as I could, because I thought, oh my gosh, it's on the way up, I better get in now or I am going to miss out. Or if I was trying to short that stock and I seen it falling, oh, let me go ahead and jump in right now, only for that stock to turn around and go back the other way. Whenever you are trying to get into a trade, take your time, evaluate, know your entry, know your exit, and do it your way so that you will not get caught. Number 9, you guys, not following my own rules. I cannot begin to tell you how much that has messed me up. I will have my plans all laid out only to go and do something else. And it's like, once you establish your game plan, even if it doesn't work out, it's best to go ahead, give it a try, and stick to that, because the moment that you decide you're going to switch up mid-game, most likely you're going to be making a pretty big mistake and it's going to cost you. Number 8, you guys, I had to learn how to identify candles. Candles are something that you really should familiarize yourself with. Although some people don't use candles, they trade with lines and other methods. I prefer using the candle because it really helps me to see what is going on with the chart. Everybody has their own trading style. If trading with the line works for you, have at it. I prefer the candles. Whatever method you're using, you need to learn it, understand it, and know when it's giving you a signal to make a move. When I began to study and identify candles, it really began to help me understand when a stock was maybe on its way up, or maybe when it was getting ready to turn around or come back down. Learn whatever it is that you're using. Learn it, okay? And then try to execute. If you try to do it before then, big mistake. Number 7, you guys, I did not know how to recognize patterns on my chart. Listen, as you begin to go in and identify these patterns, it's going to help you tremendously, because patterns, like anything else, it's going to show you a particular setup that you may see or have seen in the past that was created, that showed you, okay, with this particular pattern, the stock has a tendency to do this, and with this particular pattern, it seems to want to go, up, sideways, down. You have to learn these patterns in order for you to just have a leg up. Does this stuff work all the time? It does not. But for me, most of the things that I have learned over time, as far as patterns and charts, identifying candles, has really upped my game, and it has helped me to have more wins than losses. I would have to say about 90% of the time, it's pretty much on point. Number 6, you guys, not having enough day trades. I did not realize when I opened my first account that I should have gotten a cash account. With a cash account, that allowed me to be able to get in and out of trades more frequently, more times during the day than I would have if I had only had a margin account. With a margin account, if you do not have $25,000 in that account and it actually stays above that level, you can find yourself with a flag on your account, because you would then be deemed a pattern day trader. And that is not something that I wanted to have happen to my account, because if you get locked out of your account in the middle of you being, say, in a trade that you can go ahead and take profits on, it's a possibility that you may not be able to take those profits because you can't do anything else, and they lock you out of those accounts for quite some time. I've known some to be locked out 30 days, 60 days, even 90. So you have to be careful with that. Number 5, I was not using or utilizing all of the tools that was made available to me on the platforms. I have 3 different brokerages that I use, and most of those tools are going to be on each one of those particular brokers' platforms. But if you can learn how to use those tools, it's like anything else. It just makes life so much easier when you're able to use a say a power drill versus a handheld screwdriver. You know, I mean, the handheld screwdriver may get the job done, but still, I mean, that's a tool too. You got to have it in order for things to work and go smoother for you. All right. So learn how to utilize those tools on these different platforms. It's only going to help you up your trade game and get better. Number 4, you guys, I did not understand supply and demand zones. When I began to understand these zones, I began to see where the sellers were as well as where the buyers were. That's basically what you're looking for in supply and demand zones. When you hit a supply zone, most times you are entering a resistance area. Okay, buyers are running into in a space where the sellers is like, look, we're not having it. This is where we have established our cutoff, and that's it. When you are a seller and you are running down into the buyer zone, the buyers are like, okay, we're not going to let you drive this price no lower than this, and you have to be able to identify that stopping point, that support level that is a cutoff point for those who are probably holding positions in that particular area, and you can find yourself stuck and the price going up, back up, when you think that it's going to continue to go down. So learn how to identify supply and demand zones, which are basically your resistance and support levels. That's going to help you a whole lot, you guys. Number 3, you guys, not having enough money put into a position, okay, to be able to really see profits. Sometimes you have to have a certain amount of money in a position. Mostly for me, that is my options. I was trying to go in sometimes and trade options out of the money when I knew that on that particular stock, when it's a 0-day expiration, I really needed to have enough money to go ahead and buy in what we call in the money or at the money. And I would go ahead, I would take that trade, and eventually, you know, it will go against me. If I didn't get in and know exactly what I was doing at the right time and get out at the right time, most likely I would end up losing on that trade because I was trying to get in probably too far out of the money. These are some things that you're going to learn as we move along and talk about options. So that's something that mainly pertained to me playing options and not having enough money to actually get in the money, so that I wouldn't so that I would not risk losing money being too far out of the money. I know that's a lot, but you're gonna learn. All right, you guys, so I am getting down to the last 2 of the biggest mistakes that I have made, or the worst, while trading in the market. Y'all make sure that you take note of these two if you don't take note of anything else. So number 2, not having an account size risk management percentage. What does that mean? That means if I have $1,000 in an account, I want to go ahead and determine how much of that account in totality that I am willing to risk percentage wise. If I decided 10% was all that I was willing to lose of my $1,000, then that would give me $100 to trade with. And that can be something that you decide to do, say, on a daily basis. You're going to have a risk management of $100. Maybe it's on a weekly basis of having a risk management of $100. And if for some reason you drop below that, within that day, you say, okay, I'm out for the day. I'm done. If it happens within that week, you can say I'm out. Sometimes it's best just to chill. Just chill out until you can go back in, reassess, maybe see where you're going wrong and see what it is that you can do to fix it. And until then, don't risk anymore, because it's nothing worse than making the same mistakes and watching your account size go down farther and farther and farther. 900, 800, 700, 600. Now you're at 500. You're still making the same mistake, and you're not doing anything different to fix it. And then you again, you're not sticking to your plan. You have to decide on what it is that you're going to do and stick with that. Number 1, no risk management. Oh my gosh. If only I had known to establish some type of rules for risk management. We talked about having the $1,000, right? We said we were going to take 10% of that $1,000 to trade with for that day. Now you need to have some type of risk management for that $100. If I take that $100 and I put it into a trade, right? I'm risking $100, or however much percentage of that $100 you choose to use. Maybe you are wanting to go in. 10% is a very small amount. That's $10. 20%, that's $20, and so on and so forth. But if I'm willing to risk that $100, for instance, am I taking a $100 risk to only make $3, to only make $5? No, you want your risk to reward ratio to at least be 2 for 1. You don't want to be risking more money than you are actually gonna gain. All right, so it don't always work out where you're gonna get the profits that you're looking for with whatever amount you put in or risk, but you should have some sort of an idea of what exactly it is that you are trying to accomplish, or have an idea of where that stock is potentially heading for a profit before you go and risk your $100 or however much you're trying to put into that particular trade. So you guys, those are the 10 worst mistakes that I made entering into the market, not really having the knowledge that I needed to help me along. But over time, we always figure it out. So take these, write them down, go study them, see if you can figure out, what's going to work best for you. And that way you do not make the same mistakes that I made, okay? Again, the 10 worst trading mistakes that I made in the market when I started. And sometimes, even as a seasoned trader, to be honest with you, if we're not following our goals and our plan, our trading plan for that day, it's easy to fall into any one of these 10 mistakes and, and lose when you could have been winning. All right, you guys. So that is it. I'm going to leave it right there. You guys, please don't forget to go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload new content. Also, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you would like for me to bring to you. Again, this is a beginner-friendly trader channel, and I'm here to help you. And a lot of times when you leave me a comment, it helps me too. So we're in this together. We're learning together. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there. Head on over and get a copy of the guide, learning how to get started in the market. And I promise you there are tools in there that is going to help you as well. Also, you guys, I do have my latest work, which is not pertaining to stocks. It's a new cookbook, and it's called Rose Ketolicious Desserts. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave a shameless plug link down there at the bottom for you to click on to go over and get your copy of that as well. And I will see you guys on my next video. Peace and blessings to you. I am out. One love.